Good morning, friends. This is Carrie from Stamp with CT. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Texas and want to welcome you into our Facebook Live today. I'm going to adjust the camera just a moment, so hold on for a little ride there. Okay. So if you're catching this part of the video, you are more than likely catching the replay. So hello, replay crew. We love you. Glad you're here. And I'm hoping that some people will able to hop on with me live. We'll wait just a moment to see if that happens. Hopefully so. Hopefully Facebook will send out some notifications. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that thumbs up. Same thing on Facebook. Hit that thumbs up or heart as you're coming in, and I would really appreciate that help. It just lets those social media platforms know that other people need to see the masculine card that we're making today. Well, I hope you're having a great day. I can't believe we are rolling towards the end of February already. Gosh, let's think. It's the 21st today, isn't it? Tomorrow is my daughter Tara's birthday, so happy birthday to Tara. February 22nd. And we're just, Oliver and I are just kicking it this morning around the house. We're taking it slow and easy. You may have noticed we were not here the past 2 weeks to do our live video, which is very unusual. We've been doing these live videos now for 4 years, and we have missed from time to time, but I don't think we've ever missed 2 in a row. But I was having a terrible time with a pinched nerve in my neck. And so we just could not craft. I think I went about a week and a half without even coming into my craft room, which is so weird. So weird, because I pretty much come in here every day. Don't always craft, but I was telling them last night we had our Zoom craft and share, and when I left my craft room, as my neck began hurting, I did not clean it up, and so when I came back a week and a half later and I opened the door, I was like, oh my goodness, a bomb went off in there. It was a mess. All right, looks like we've got some friends jumping on, so I know that you guys are here to get the crafting on, so let's do that, and then we'll chat a little bit at the end again. So we are making a masculine card today. It's an easy one and it's a fun one. And I put just a little scrap of DSP on the inside as well. So this is using the Trusty Toolbox Designer Series paper that you can receive free during celebration. So we just have right at a week left of celebration because the 29th is when it ends. So in this little brochure, you've got lots of Designer Series paper, stamps, embellishment, ribbon. I think everything is still available from this little brochure. No price tags in here because these are all free items that you earn with a $50 or $100 purchase. You can do those different increments. No limit as to what you can earn. And then we also have some other items that were added. And there's a little flyer, I can post it later, showing you the other items that you can choose from that come from either the mini catalog or the annual catalog. Some more DSP that you can choose from, the one with the kids. It's really cute. And then there's also, I'm trying to think of the name of it, the Eclectic. It's a super big pack of paper, I think 48 sheets. And that's at a $50 level. So lots and lots of options for free product when you purchase. Love that Stampin' Up! Does celebration, and it's only January and February. So we've got just a little over a week to take advantage of that. We're going to be using the Trusty Toolbox Designer Series paper today to create this little project. So let me first show you this awesome stamp and die set, the Trusty Tools. This, of course, you can purchase from the mini catalog and then get your Designer Series paper that coordinates great with it for free. So these are the dies as well. We're going to be using this set March the 23rd. I'm doing something called a celebration. So even though celebration will be over at that point, I'm going to reward team members and customers who've met certain criteria with a free event where we're going to make projects and they're just going to get pampered and we're going to have fun and little prizes and we're just going to have a great time. And so it will be an in-person event, but if you don't live near me, we're also going to make it where you can do the cards and still receive a lot of the benefits and just have fun doing a class that I want to provide free to thank everyone for their support during celebration. So it's called a celebration. We'll be using this stamp set and dies, this paper to create projects, and that's the only time in an event that I'm using these products. So it's an exclusive event. I hope that you'll hop over to my Stamp with CT Facebook page up at the events section and take a look at celebration. See how you can be included in that, how you can earn your spot. Let's take a look at this paper. I just have a scrap of this one. It is just so cute, and it makes masculine projects so very easy to create because you've got lots of different tools. Great for any handyman in your life or handy woman. I think this one's my favorite. I have a ruler that folds out that my grandpa gave me, and that's what it always makes me think of when I see that piece of paper. Here's the B side. And I did see someone that He's All That from last year's catalog carried over, and it has the barbecue grill and sent in some cars. I saw someone pairing that stamp set with this paper as well, which works beautifully, of course. So if you have that set in your crafty collection, you could use it as well. So I'll bring this card a little bit closer to show you again. Very, very simple. I actually did not have a project for today, and while we did the craft and share last night, the third Tuesday of each month, we get on Zoom and we just craft and do whatever we want to as far as projects. It doesn't have to be paper crafting. And Dale came in and fussy cut some little elements from the DSP for me so I could make this card. So that's all I did last night, was chatted and got ready for my Facebook Live. But I know Cheryl joined us last night. She worked on her Team Creative Challenge. Karen put together 100 thank you cards. She had everything cut and ready to go, and she just assembled them. And she got it done, y'all, in about an hour and a half. Becky hopped on with us, and she was crocheting, and Jan was working on a paper pumpkin. So it was just a fun time to craft together. So remember, the third Tuesday of each month to join us. I post the link in CT's Craft and Connect, and I also email it out so you can be part of that if you would like to, or message me and I'll send it directly to you. So we have got a piece of, I'm trying to think of the name, Lost Lagoon cardstock that we're using for our card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and Oliver thinks he has to be all up here. Give him a little treat, get him down. And then we've got a piece of basic white that's 5 1/4 by 4, and I just took some of the little scraps. This one we'll put across the bottom because that's where this one's going to work. But I just took some of the little scraps of Designer Series paper to use those up. I like doing, no, Oliver, no. Sorry, he just knocked off some of the pieces that I need. We'll see how much this card looks alike. Down, please, down. Thank you. We'll see how much this card resembles the other one, how many pieces I have left. Goodness, it doesn't usually do that. All right, so we'll get our glue on there. And I hope I had not started, no. And I'll put this little yardstick down at the bottom. This paper is just so much fun to work with. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't lose a piece. I hear him licking his chops. You know what? We're going to flip this over because I think I got too much glue. We'll make that the back. Okay, trim off this excess. Just put that little scrap wherever he went. Okay, crisis averted with the glue, right? My glue is really flowing this morning. I have to tell you guys a funny story. I usually don't put the lid on my glue. You know, I never have. That was part of the reason why Dale came up with these glue holders for us, is because I was so bad about not putting my lid on, and then my glue would be stopped up. So I did not craft for about a week and a half, and of course my glue was just sitting in the holder just like it is right here. And when I came back, it still was not stopped up. So I love his glue holders and the design he did. It has a little dimple. I'm sure you can't see it on camera. It has a little dimple down in there, so when you put your glue in, it's actually touching the bottom. So that's why it keeps it from doing that. Okay, one of the cool things on this card, and I know it's not going to show up super well. I'll bring it closer to the camera, but we have been using our brayer a good bit. So if you don't know what a brayer is, this is a tool that you can use to apply ink. And so as you're inking it up, you just run it across your ink pad, and you can do it either way, whatever works best for you. And then you just roll it across the paper. Now you can do it on regular cardstock. You can do it on cardstock that has been embossed. You can do it on the debossed side of the cardstock. Just really play around and see the different techniques that you can use and effects that you attain by using your brayer. So we have been doing a lot of brayering. Dale thought it would be really cool to make a reel for you guys, and we did that and posted it on YouTube yesterday. I'll make sure it goes up on Facebook today so you can see how he did it. But he took this piece of pecan pie cardstock and ran it through the timber embossing folder. He inked up the brayer, and he ran it just one time, I'm pretty sure, just one time across this paper like this. And then he immediately brought in just a plain piece of paper that has not been embossed at all. And I'm hoping that that shows up. And he ran the brayer just one time across that plain piece of paper. And basically what he got was the ink that was left on the brayer, the negative image. So it still looks like the timber, but it is just on a plain piece of paper. Sorry, my clock is way slow. I'm sorry. So that is what he showed on that reel, and I'll get the short, well, the short went up yesterday on YouTube. I'll get the reel put up on Facebook today so you can see it. And we always, when we're brayering, we do it on a bigger piece of cardstock than what we intend to use on our project, so that if you don't get all the way to the edges, or if it picks up too much ink on the edges, you're able to trim that off. So we cut this down to 5 by 3 3/4. So this is a 5 1/4 by 4 1/2, no, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock that we typically use when we're brayering, so we can cut down. And that way, if you get more ink at one end than the other, you know, you can cut it all from that end. It just helps you even everything up. So thought that was a really cool technique that he came up with. And so now that's how I got the ink on this timber embossing folder. And it just really brings all of that interest up to the surface, and it makes it look even cooler than what it does just being the embossing folder. So then I've got a little piece of this designer series paper again that looks like the yardstick, and we'll put that on. And this card will turn out different than the other one, especially if Oliver ate one of my pieces. We'll see. Let me see if I can kind of get this lined up here. Make sure it's somewhat straight. That looks pretty good, I think. All right, and then let's do a little bit of stamping right quick. You are the most awesome is what this stamp says. And somewhere, what do we do with it, alls? I have my piercing mat. You're the most awesome. And this is just from Nested Essentials, this little die piece. Let's see how we do. Hopefully my head is not in the camera, but it may have been. Not great. Let's try that again. I think I have another one. I was doing it upside down thinking that would help me, but it didn't. Let's bring it closer to me. I'm just at an awkward angle, you guys, with my lighting and everything. This one will have to work because it's my last die cut that's ready, or I'll go back in a little bit. It's going to work. It's going to be okay. So let's put that over on the chamois. So this is pecan pie ink that I'm using. Really fun. And I think what I'll do is kind of what I did with my other one. I'll get it all assembled and then put that layer on. Oliver, did you eat my stuff? No, he did not. So actually, like I said, Dale fussy cut. Let me put them on here. It might show up a little bit better. He fussy cut these pieces for me. The other little measuring tape and a hammer and the saw blade. The one that I used on the first card was not a full saw blade. It was closer to the edge of the paper. But hey, it worked just fine. This has really been a fun set of products to work with. I think Stampin' Up! Really knocked it out of the park with the celebration papers this year. Fabulous. Okay, let's find some dimensionals. And we'll add some of those on. I didn't grab a take your pick tool. Isn't it weird how you're out of your craft room for really a fairly short time and I just still feel kind of lost. I went back to work yesterday and had a good day. But wow, I was tired at the end of it. So using those bones, getting some of those side pieces of dimensional. That's going to be perfect for my hammer handle. And we'll just get those backings off right quick. Of course, it's much easier with the take your pick tool. So I know you will use your take your pick tool. I don't even know where mine is right now. But you can see if you either have a scan and cut and you cut a lot of the images from the paper, or you just sit and fussy cut a lot of the images, then you would be ready to go to assemble some cards, put them together really quick. Like Karen last night, putting together 100 cards in about an hour and a half. That's pretty amazing. But she had all her prep work done. So that really is the most efficient way to do something like that. Let's bring that guy down a little bit this time. And we'll bring the hammer a little bit this way. So again, not exactly like my first project, but using the same components, a little bit different positioning. A little more glue than what we typically use since this is embossed and we want to make sure that those fibers make contact with the card base. And remember, it's 5 by 3 3/4, so we've got a bit of a bigger border all the way around, which I really like that look. So if we can somewhat get it straight, that's all. Ooh, that didn't work. It's always nice to have it pretty straight, isn't it? Isn't it? All right, we'll let that dry for just a second because we're done with our project. I think that one turned out pretty cute too. and we'll talk for just a minute. Having had to cancel a couple of different things. I had to cancel my team meeting. I'm still catching up on that. Had to cancel my stamp class, which it's been a long time since we've had to cancel a stamp class. So I moved the Perennial Lavender class to March. So March the 9th is our Perennial Lavender class. I moved the Lighter Than Air to April. And then I came up with a different finally Friday. So Lighter Than Air will be April, Perennial Lavender stamp class on the 9th, and finally Friday will be Faith and Courage, or Courage and Faith. I can't remember the name of the stamp set. It's really nice. So you can check out my events tab on Stamp with CT and find out all that information. On the 9th of March, we're doing stamp class because we are going to Houston for the Stampin' Up convention that next weekend. So the weekend of that we normally do stamp class, I just can't this time because we'll be gone learning all kinds of new things to share with you. We'll be seeing new product, lots of different presentations from not only Stampin' Up, but also other demonstrators. If they do things like they've done them before, I'll come home with some new products and prizes that we've won. Just really, really excited to see a lot of my demonstrator friends from all over the country and all over the world. I'm hoping to see some people that even live in other countries that I follow and am friends with. It's just a really exciting time. We swap cards in different projects, just have a blast. So that's why we're moving stamp class up just for March. Then we'll go back to our regular schedule for April. Boy, Oliver is out of sorts today. He is acting like the little crazy person, aren't you? So hope you enjoyed this project. I did have some happy mail, but I neglected to bring it in here. I do have the prize from last time, which was a couple weeks ago. Becky Dixon, you are the winner. So for this year, for 2024, I do ask that the winners of the door prize reach out to me and just say, I'm claiming my prize. That's all you have to do. So send me a message, Becky. And if you know Becky and you want to tag her, that's perfectly fine. But I just need confirmation that you saw that you're the winner. And then we also have a package of dimensionals that'll be the prize for this week. All you have to do to be entered for a chance to win, like Becky did, is leave a comment for me. And just anything that you want, send up a heart or thumbs up. Any of those things enter you for a chance to win either on Facebook or YouTube. Sometimes we draw the name from YouTube as well and just do a random drawing. And I'll announce that winner next week. Don't forget, just a little over a week or right at a week of celebration left. It ends on the 29th. And we will see you again next week for another time of crafting. And hope you guys have a great week. Thank you.